Good afternoon, it's Mark Larson. It's Friday. No new cases today. We are going into the weekend and we are working on our phase 3 application. That application goes in on Thursday. We could turn it in on Wednesday. We'll have it done. It needs to go to the Board of Health and then the Board of County Commissioners. Their meeting is Thursday. It will be put into the governor's office on Thursday, and Secretary of State Wiesman will look at it. There are 3 other counties that are kind of set for kind of that same time frame, so I'm not sure how long it'll wait to be done, but we are ready. Things are good. I'm asking everybody to continue to follow phase 2 guidance. We are meeting all of the metrics currently, including case numbers, but if our cases go way up, then that could throw our variance request to move into phase 3. That could have an effect there. So make sure you're following those phase 2 guidelines, and we're working for you. Let's go to questions.
The first question is about the dashboard. When will the COVID dashboard be updated? The website says noon, but as of 3/22, it wasn't updated, and yesterday it was updated afternoon as well.
So the website is updated by 5 o'clock every day, so that would show our current numbers in Kittitas County.
The next question is, I see on the Community Impact Board we have 93 pending cases. What's the timeline for getting results from those tests? And is that high number a result of testing the nursing home and the contact at the protests? This individual is concerned that that'll affect our phase 3 application.
So the phase 3 application, including numbers tested and numbers positive, are both numbers that we look at. So we want to test at least 50 people for every positive. So that's what one of the metrics are. So it helps us in some ways to be testing more. It also, as we test more, we're going to find more cases. And so if our numbers went up and it was related to testing at the nursing home, that would be explained in our request to move into phase 3, which would be okay. And if our numbers went up because we had more cases either through one of the protests or some other event, such as a wedding, which aren't really supposed to be happening currently except at a church, then we would have to explain that as well. So the main thing is stay at home, follow the phase 2 guidelines, and wear a mask, and we'll get to phase 3.
The governor's mandate is that all employees wear a mask unless they're in an office or work by themselves. But why are not all businesses allowed to require people that come into their establishments to wear a mask, specifically the county? And then the individual goes on to talk about encouraging wearing masks, but that why can't government offices require the same as private businesses?
So the mandate from the governor for wearing a mask was a mandate from the governor. So that's not an ask like what we've been doing. We've been doing an ask, we did a directive, we begged, we pleaded for people to wear masks because it's the science. The science shows that by wearing a mask, I protect others. So the governor, because the governor has a tool, and that tool is labor and industries for enforcement, said, I'm going to use that tool. Labor and industries will enforce that. So if people are concerned that a business is not wearing, their employees are not wearing a mask, then you can make a complaint through labor and industries, and labor and industries will enforce that. So each business, including governments, can make a choice to mandate masking. And that's why if you go get your hair cut, you might find that they're having their customers wear masks. So it's the most protective thing. My daughter cut my hair, but if I went in to get my hair cut, I would wear a mask to protect the person that was cutting my hair.
I got takeout this week at an Ellensburg restaurant, and the employee preparing and selling food there was not wearing a mask. Aren't masks mandatory for food service? If restaurant employees are not wearing masks, should we report that, and if so, where?
Yes, you should report that. That's a labor and industry thing. As of the 8th of June, every business has to be wearing, every employee at a business has to be wearing a mask unless they are working in an office by themselves and not having any interaction with the public. So that again is labor and industry. As we move forward here this weekend, people are going to be out protesting again. My ask would be maintain social distancing, wear a mask when you're out. We're not supposed to be out and about, so stay in so we don't end up having more and more cases and have our variance request denied, which is possible. And be careful and be kind to each other. So that's my ask. So the other thing about masking, as some of you know, is the OSPI came out with their school guidance for the fall, and that school guidance for the fall states that all teachers, all students, all staff are mandated to wear masks when they return to school. So school will not be normal in the fall. It will not be like it was last year in the fall. We're working with schools on plans for band, for choir, for sports. And if you look at the OSPI guidance for the fall, a lot of things can happen between now and the fall. But that's the guidance currently, which is masking, because we know that the science is there that wearing a mask protects others. The people that are going to school at the schools, the young kids, are not really at high risk, but their parents are at higher risk and their grandparents are at higher risk. And the teachers are at higher risk. So think about others this weekend. Make sure you're being kind. If you think somebody's lonely, please reach out and give them a call. Thanks a lot.